I'm Dr. Finley Catrone, Associate Professor in the William F. Harrah College of Hospitality at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Are you thinking about a career in hospitality and tourism leadership? We've created a series of introductory video lectures to help you explore career opportunities. If you're watching this video, you probably already know that global travel and tourism amounted to $11.1 trillion in 2024. The industry is expected to support approximately 348 million jobs globally this year. In the hospitality industry, we create great experiences for people, whether in hotels, restaurants, event planning, integrated resorts, or other tourism-related entities. When we think about careers in hospitality, though, most of us think of customer service roles in hotels and restaurants, which is true. But career opportunities are so much broader than that. What are you interested in? What is your ideal profession? Because we have careers in that. Hospitality is a business, of course, but it is also an art and a science. From hotel management and food and beverage leadership to meetings and events management and luxury experiences, hospitality is a dynamic field with opportunities worldwide, offering an endless list of managerial and leadership roles. Do you hope to become a director of finance or revenue, or maybe director of marketing, or a vice president of hotel operations? Maybe you're interested in casino operations or golf. Hospitality careers are varied and exciting. If you enjoy working with people, problem solving, and a fast-paced environment, hospitality could be the perfect career path for you. And there is no better place to study than the entertainment and tourism capital of the world. We have undergraduate and graduate programs both on campus and online. The Harrah College of Hospitality, the #1 hospitality program in the U.S. and top 3 in the world, is the ideal stepping stone to building your career.
Hello, my name is Dr. Murray Mackenzie. I'm employed at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas in the U.S., and the great Las Vegas Strip is right behind me here. I'm going to talk to you about the exciting world of hospitality, but more specifically, the food and beverage industry. Did you know that there are exciting and innovative management positions in this vibrant industry? You are probably wondering what your next 5 years will bring. Well, hospitality and tourism are the biggest employers in the world. Apart from the 2020 decline, international tourism numbers have grown virtually uninterrupted from 25 million in 1950 to 1.3 billion in 2023, an increase of over 34%. And as we see now, international tourism is recovering at 88% more of those higher pandemic levels, with arrivals reaching 89% of those levels in 2023. So we can see that opportunities for experience management have opened in these areas of tourism and hospitality. Tourism and hospitality generates employment and possibilities, especially for women and young people, with women making up 54% of the tourism workforce and playing a critical role in transforming the hospitality industry. Great women hotel general managers with leadership skills boost innovation, enhance customer experience, and drive the profitability of businesses. Higher education qualifications have played an important role in the journey of those talented people. Through leadership roles, by perfecting problem-solving skills and working in teams, setting targets and goals, completing higher-level education and hard work, this enabled them to apply for positions of higher management within hotel companies, as you can as well. Food and beverage are very dear to my heart, as this is how I trained and then used my skills, knowledge, and experience to finally become an executive chef de cuisine of a large hotel in operation in many parts of the world. Higher education has played an important role in my journey as I sat culinary exams throughout my apprenticeship, and higher level education qualifications. I developed my leadership roles by perfecting my problem solving, working in teams, setting targets and goals, completing my higher level education, and most of all, hard work. This enabled me to apply for positions of higher management within hotel companies and eventually higher education. Food and beverage can be divided into front and back of house. So let's have a look at this. So front of house, which includes customer service and eventual management of a restaurant as a restaurant manager or maître d'hôtel. Back of house includes working in food preparation and cooking, supporting conferences, meetings, seminars, functions, banqueting. Priorities as a leader in food and beverage, such as we need to establish a vision, we need to encourage employees to gain new competencies. We've got to really think about helping to overcome difficult situations by leading by example, including others in certain parts of our success and the success of the hotel itself. We need to direct and coach. We need to support and delegate. We need to motivate. We need to give good feedback. So let's have a look at the food and beverage hierarchy in the culinary kitchen team, for example. So you start out as an executive chef, a chef de cuisine, so to speak. And then we've got a head chef, we've got a sous chef, which is an under chef. We've got a chef de partie in charge of a certain station, a certain section. We've got people working under him called commis. We've got a chef garde manger who is the larder chef. He looks after a lot of the banqueting as well. The chef pâtissier works in the pastry section. And then we've got different chefs that have skills in different areas, like a saucier and a chef that maybe does all the butchery, those sorts of things. The aboyeur is a chef that calls out the orders as they come into the kitchen. So, but now if we look at the service management team, we've got a food and beverage director. We've got a food and beverage manager. We've got a banqueting manager, and banqueting is a big part of a lot of hotels. Restaurant and bar, the managers of those as well, and outlets that they have. Restaurants, supervisors like captains, we've got servers, we've got bartenders, we've got bussers. There's a lot of people employed in the service industry, both in front and back of house. So the question I want to ask you is, imagine that you are having a dinner party for some friends. What are some factors that you would like to think about, take into account when deciding what to serve them for dinner? Perhaps you might consider a few things. Now, think about a hotel when they are in this predicament, what they consider. The first thing is ability to cook. What staff do they have? What taste do your friends have in this instance? What ingredients and the cost of that? Maybe there's a budget, maybe there's a time, maybe there's a production and service equipment that you require. You may not have it all at home. And then you've got your friends' expectations, in this case, the customer expectations. How many courses you're going to serve them, the menu, what is the climate at the time, is it winter, is it summer, is it spring? So all these things need to take into consideration when you're in the front or the back of house in food and beverage. And those people who are skilled at doing this are very skilled at doing this. So food, really, it tells a story. And diners today are craving this deeper connection with their meals. It's no longer just about the flavor. It's about the stories behind the food. Every dish has an emotional story, whether inspired by your grandmother's cooking, by a festival, by your childhood, nostalgically. So you've got this cultural connection that will only grow, and diners will seek restaurants that feel more personal to them and where they can sit down and they know the story behind the dish. For example, now we've got food that is combined with different things. Dessert caviar. Imagine that, dessert caviar. Well, caviar has been on the rise for some time. Making its way into sweets is a different thing, into a croissant ice cream and caviar. Oh my goodness me, that sounds fantastic. It's a very luxurious combination of this sweet ice cream and savory caviar. It's a perfect match, and this is where food is going now. So now we're moving into the future of what food and beverage is, and restaurant Instagram marketing is a big part of that. Social media is a big part of today's dining scene. As you know, you take a photograph of every piece of food that you have on the plate. You post it to all your friends. So restaurants are working hard to make sure their offering, from food to decor, takes advantage of all the free marketing available, and you're one of those. The marketing tool for people to see the food, decor, and the cocktails is what you take the photograph of and send. It's trying to entice you to visit more often. So Instagram tables, built exclusively for restaurants, inside a space where everyone can be there and they can post photographs on their own social media accounts. One thing we do know is that photography is everything. So poor food photography can do more harm than good. So all that website design, the atmosphere that you're creating, you give a feel to the place. This is what you're looking for. But most importantly of all, we're looking at the quality of service. And so what is service quality? So this is a perceived service quality derives from the individual service encounter between the customer and the service provider, during which the customer evaluates the quality and develops satisfaction or dissatisfaction. And what happens then? They send that on social media. Do come to this restaurant. Great people, great service. Or don't come to this restaurant. Bad people, bad service. So the customer, their needs and expectations are paramount. So how you, as a person working at the front of house, greet that person when they arrive at the restaurant. They are expecting to be welcomed. They are expecting to go into the restaurant, and they're expecting to have good service. So a sense of satisfaction when receiving good food and service. They want to come back again. You want them to come back again. You, working in the industry, need return business. So customers usually go to restaurants to meet with others socially in a friendly environment. Service has a large role. Creating a good environment is most important. Having a clean environment will make a great impact on your customer, as it is deeply related to certain qualities that they have, their health, their safety. So your customers should feel valued from the moment they enter the restaurant until the moment they depart. What is the most important thing to remember when employed in a bar or a restaurant? The customer. How we are going to attract them, how we're going to give them an amazing experience. And hospitality and food and beverage is about experience. And we want to know what's going to make them come back. So the most important service that a customer expects to receive when dining is a good selection of well-presented food and beverage items. Often the beverage is the first offering to the guest, apart from water. So different types of cocktails. Is it neat? Is it straight up? Is it chilled? Is it strained? Is it on the rocks? Is it tall? Is it short? Is it shaken? Is it stirred? Is it all those things? So often these things make a taste better. That's why they shake the drinks in a shaker. Fruit juices, all sorts of things. Spirits, vodkas, gins, rums. You got to know a little bit about them, how they distilled, what they come from. And we know that rums come from sugar cane, sugar beets. What about tequila? From the agave plant. Whiskeys, fermented grain mash, aged in old wooden barrels. And then obviously beer, which are from malted grains, yeast, water, and hops. So as a person working in this area, you need to know all that. Wine is a classic accompaniment to food and a great way to increase sales. The basic terms used describing the flavor of wine include fruit, tartness, tannins, body, balance. So before opening any bottle of wine, you show the bottle to the host at the table who ordered it. The guest should have a chance to confirm that it is the correct bottle. So there's lots of little idiosyncrasies you need to know as a server and a person working in the front and obviously the back of house. All those little things that you need to study and learn. At the moment, non-alcoholic beverages are making a big splash, so to speak. So any array of zero-proof spirits, non-alcoholic beers, wines, you've got mocktails, and a lot more. So non-alcoholic drinks come in many different formats. Did you know nearly half the Americans, 49%, plan to drink less in 2025? Whew. 65% of Gen Z, which are the 18 to 20-year-olds, plan to drink less in 2025 also. So we've got then a big array of non-alcoholic drinkers out there, and the industry is now looking at how to attract them. So we move then into tea and coffee, and most guests will drink coffee at the end of the meal, or it is often served with the dessert, those sorts of things. So there's a whole structure that you've got if you're working in the front of house. But the most important thing you've got to remember is the menu and the design of the menu and the colors that you've got that go with the menu. And they can create sort of mental and emotional associations. So blue, for example, is associated with trust. That's why I'm wearing a blue suit. Green, most commonly found in a color, is sort of a natural or associated with nature. Red signifies exuberance, excitement, encouraging actions, and those sort of things. Yellow communicates happiness, optimism, and enlightenment. So every color in the spectrum has a meaning, and therefore it's important to consider the use of colors, not just in your logo and design and interior design, but also in your menu design. Feelings and perceptions can motivate behavioral changes in your guests. So there's lots of things to think about when you come to food and beverage and how you're going to train to go in there. But one of the most important things is that finance, the finance of food and beverage. So obviously you've got to know sort of standard procedures. You implement standard procedures through different controls, such as production forecasting, portion control, standardized recipes. You do the yield testing, how much you get out of a certain amount of quantity. Controlling food cost percentages are very important. And so when we look at the portion costs, the cost per serving portion, we look at that portion and the portion weight, and then we come to a calculation from that. If we're calculating the food cost percentage, we start then looking at the cost of the food purchased or the goods purchased, and we divide that into the sales, and then we multiply it by 100. So there is a formula for that. So typically restaurant revenue breaks down into different layers. And if you think about it, 33% is labor. 32% is that food costs we talk about. 30% are those incurred costs like rent, energy, water, those sorts of things. So out of that, you get a 5% net profit. You kind of wonder why you're in business sometime. But standard procedures and controls are certainly important. So there are 3 basic steps to determine food and beverage cost. You need to establish a standard recipe and a portion size. You need to calculate the total cost of each menu item. You've got to determine the selling price of each menu item. So all successful food service operations have 3 qualities in common. The ability to offer people the product they want. The ability to offer people the product they want. That's most important. The ability to prosper in prevailing economic and social conditions. And obviously the ability to adapt to those changes in people's wants in prevailing conditions. And if you can get those 3 things right, you can do very well in this industry. So remember, the more you learn, the more you know. The more you know, the more you're worth. So learn all you can and explore the possibilities. Education, experience will foster many opportunities. This is what we do here at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. We've got the great Las Vegas Strip behind me we use as our training ground for our students. We look after our customers, which are you. You don't have to be amazing to start, but you have to start to be amazing. So I look forward to seeing you here soon. You have a great time. Bye-bye.